Why? What? Boom. Today, we're dipping back into PowerToys, and today's toy is something called Command Palette, which is a ridiculous name because what they should have called it is Better Search. And the whole point of it is putting a decent search tool back into Windows. Want to know more? Let's get into it. So, if you've already got PowerToys installed, you're good to go. If not, then yeah, okay, there should be a card up there somewhere pointing back to the video about getting that installed and also using something called Power Rename. All right, but now that we got that on there, let's check this out. Tiny Brian. Okay, so what I got going here is a Windows 11 VM we've been using from time to time, and just like you're used to, right, if you hit that start button and go to search, well, it pops up decent chance a whole bunch of what are, to my mind, effectively ads. Also, there's a decent chance if you go searching for one of your applications that instead of letting you easily run that application, flip a coin, it might take you to a web page with some information about it. Don't love that. All right, and got there by just hitting that start button, of course. So this thing called Command Palette, or Better Search for my purposes, is Start, Command, and Spacebar by default. So reaching down with the same hand, it's just hitting those three keys all in a row. Start, Command, Spacebar. The tool it brings up here, again, this Command Palette, you could just go ahead and search for whatever you want, right? Putty. If you want to bring up some application you got installed called Putty. Or, close that in here, bring it up again, Notepad. Ooh, hey, check it out, Notepad or Notepad++, whichever makes you happy. By default, you have to double click to launch anything, though that's changeable. Close on out of there. But you can do more. So it's obviously search, and so you can search for any files or folders you got on there as well. So, for instance, right when I did Putty, okay, well, that's by default going to assume I want the application. But if I had searched for some file that wasn't associated with a program, it would jump straight to that. Else, I can come down here to Search Files. And now, it's going to show me, if I search for Putty, okay, here's all the files on it, including the installers. But that would include, or pardon me, the installed files. But that would also potentially include the installer itself over in Downloads. Yeah. All right, I'm just going to hit Escape to back up again. There's more in here before I show it. Well, no, let's keep looking for the moment. So check it out. We've got run commands. Again, like it says ping here, right? But like if I wanted to write ping, I could, I don't know, www.bob.com. I don't know who that is. And it'll run the ping and then close this back out. It's not the worst, but I'd rather pull up command prompt, CMD, and then run my own ping. All right, just so I got it there. All right, so works for running some command like CMD, works for searches, just like you'd expect. We could specify again what we want. There's also calculator functions built into here. If you just start typing something like, I don't know, 8 times 5, it says, do you mean calculator result of 40? Right, so that's kind of convenient. If you want, you could have specified the calculator. And this is just instead of opening up the classic calculator, but it's just built in automatically. We can search the web, not my favorite, but totally usable. We can come on down here and get to specify that we want to look at Windows settings and then search just within there, right? And so the idea here is if you just type something into the top, it'll just do a best match on whatever it can through here. But if you want, you can also pick the thing you want, like a Windows setting, like a file, like the application. We can come on down as well for folks who might be into programming as well, time and date. I'm just going to click on or double click on that check it out. Sure, it's 11:25 a.m. here, and here's the date, but just in case you need it, here's the Unix epoch time. The time since midnight, January 1st, 1970. As of the time I ran it, how many milliseconds into the minute was it? The fact that it's a Monday, the second day of the week, the 15th day of the month, the 349th day of the year, right? So just additional information that you might want at your fingertips. Let's see, I'm going to jump on over to the settings. So this pulls up the PowerToys command palette section, and here's sort of our high level settings. So for instance, our key combination to bring it up, our Windows Alt Space. If you don't like that, you can change it. That's fine. You can just change it to something else. Ooh, I'm gonna hit cancel here. We've also got this use low level keyboard hook. I've never needed that, but in your environment, for some reason, if you need to, if you find the normal, Windows Alt Space isn't working, cool, give that a try maybe. Ignore shortcut for full screen mode. If this is your main gaming computer, then maybe you want to enable that so that you don't accidentally bring up that command palette during a game. I usually leave it off, even though this is my main gaming computer as well, because I wouldn't want it to not work if I'm just like watching a video or something like that. The main things that I would actually want to check is over here in extensions. So I mentioned before that I don't really like it to search the internet. When I want to search the internet, I'll search the internet. And so if I come on down here to, again, extensions, and then web search, I can just turn that off. And now it won't ever go searching on the internet. Now, there's a separate one here for WinGet, which is built into recent versions of Win 10 and Windows 11. This would be basically a command line utility for grabbing a file off of the internet, basically an HTTP or HTTPS session through command line. And all of the other functions, like if you didn't want the calculator for some reason, if you didn't want the time and date for some reason, you could disable it here as well. So, oh, this is what I mean by a better search utility. You just bring it up, type in whatever you want, and it's going to do a good job of finding the application or file. And if you specifically know that you're looking for the files and you don't want to get it confused about applications, go specify that, right? And you don't ever have to have it reach out to the internet because it's all customizable. You can also build out potentially your own extensions for this. So those extensions I had enabled, there are additional extensions that you could go grab from GitHub that other folks have built out, or out on the Microsoft Store if you find something out there that's interesting for you, or for that matter, even go build your own. Now, I'm not going to get into that level here, but let's go check out this Windows System Commands down at the bottom. I'm going to just open that up, and mostly here, we've just got our stuff you could get to anyway, right? Our shutdown, restart, sign out locks, sleep and hibernate. But like if you needed to get to your recycle bin, but you didn't have the shortcut on your desktop, you can get to it from here or open it. Restart Windows Explorer. Reboot into the UEFI of your system without having to press the key combination at just the right time. Or maybe even pull up the IP or MAC address from one of your many NICs. This VM has a bunch of NICs that basically show up on it for reasons that don't worry about. We've got a whole lot of options here. And you could even come in and add a bookmark to some sort of favorite website you wanted to check out. All right, y'all. Just a quick little video today. Again, the idea here is if you have also gotten more than a little annoyed by the default search option in Windows, there is a better way. It's just called Command Palette, and it's over in Microsoft PowerToys. All right, everybody, y'all rock. Thank you so much. I hope you are having a blast as well. If you're liking it, hit that like button. If you want to see more, hit subscribe. And I'll see you next time.